EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. And let's go down to the first. Stepping up to the first tee, Frank, what are some keys to be...
When he goes after it like he is here.
That is a heat-seeking missile right there. Wow.
Oh, huge with a capital H.
Busted that.
Great Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's the next one. Judging by that light, it's not going to be too hard.
I'll bring the hammer, why don't you? Setting up an eagle opportunity. Locked in on the read and the speed. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Just the tap in to finish the hole. That's an important birdie right there. Into the top 5 on this leaderboard.
Well, there's so much at stake this week, Rich.
Here at the par 4, 445-yard second hole. Severe dogleg to the left. What's the best play here, Frank?
Well, that tee shot, Rich, is so intimidating, so you don't necessarily have to hit driver. Club decision is probably going to be important here, because if you hit driver, you've got to take it down over that left side, all over the canyon area. So if you hit 3-wood, you can play a slightly more conservative tee shot, but it is going to leave you a longer second shot to a green that's well protected on the right side by bunkers. But really, you know, if the wind's not blowing, this is a really good, fun hole to play. Look at the vistas. Well, a hard hole after that tee shot has now become an easy hole.
It's the great equalizer. When you can drive the golf ball, Frank, just like that, well, it opens up so many avenues, and he'll have plenty to choose from here. Looks good. Chance to make a birdie. So on the putting surface, and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Steady climber, Frank.
Yeah, now on the first page of the leaderboard.
All right, Frank, describe the third hole.
Well, it's a par 3 with a bit of a tabletop green, Rich. Some bunkers right and left of that, but also it's going to play a little bit further. This tee shot is uphill, unlike the opening 2 holes. So a 3 here, and that certainly won't hurt the scorecard. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. In the thick stuff.
Thick? It's brutal out there.
And setting up here in the rough. Okay, good shot on the dance floor. Makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. No damage done. Made the par. Back over now to the 4th. Early in the round, still holding steady, even par on the day.
Yeah, it's got that feel it could go either way here. Next few holes will probably tell us which way. The ball just took off the face.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. This shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Birdie try up next. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
Give me a break, Rich. Your mum could make that.
Ooh, that's a disappointment, Frank. He needs this for par. Wow, I thought he made that. Boy, that hurts right there, Frank.
Yeah, he's got to knuckle down now, though, because, we've seen it before, Rich. 2 putts turn into 3, 4. So make sure you can limit the damage here.
So with that, the score is now at even par. Now to the par 5 fifth hole. Cut it over the ridge here, Frank?
Well, if you can, if you dare. And there is actually a stream here. I know we're in the middle of a desert, but if you can clear that stream, that's the main thing. This is a crazy-looking tee shot because it looks like you want to go down that that canyon area, but if you don't know the exact distance you fly the ball, then you're going to be in lots and lots of problems. Those collection of 3 bunkers down the right side, as long as you can avoid that, then that second shot to this par 5, that's not overly long, it's just under 500 yards, is certainly reachable. Second shot will play uphill to a elevated green with, once again, 3 different levels.
Uh-oh, this one's going left, Frank. Not enough on that one.
Yeah, it just seemed to baby it. Rich, after you've already made one mistake in the rough, there's a chance he's going to make another.
Just trying to get it back out into the fairway. Wow, what a shot.
What are the chances of making it from there?
Here at the 6th, 447-yard par 4. Pretty good hole, Frank.
Yeah, probably a layup hole, too, for the longer hitters. Something out there around the 280, 290-yard mark to make sure you don't go it in the stream. Obviously, it's a dogleg right, as you can see. The canyon on both sides is sort of, well-defined, so you know where not to go. Second shot plays a little bit back up the hill to a green, once again, that's anything other than flat. It's fun. You've got to make sure you get that ball on the right tier if you want to have a birdie putt here.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
That is classy.
No chance of going in.
Frank, this is a good position to be in for a player. Making birdies, making some moves.
Yeah, starting to get the momentum, too, for the finish.
Well, everybody loves the short par 4, and here we have one, Frank, just 302 yards, the 7th hole.
And this hole is anything other than straightforward, Rich. Huge drop-off at the front of the screen that is surrounded by water. So it's going to be a layup off the tee, really, to try and get the right yardage. This green is very, very, it's not very deep, but it's extremely wide. The hardest thing is to try and get a flat lie with whatever club you decide to hit off the tee and get the right yardage. Otherwise, that green actually might be a little elusive, even though this is a very short hole.
And to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole is for birdie. That was a nice birdie, and no doubt he's feeling pretty good about his position on this leaderboard.
A series of good holes in a row has got him to this point.
Frank, the 8th here at Wolf Creek in Mesquite, Nevada is really the signature par 3, isn't it?
I'd go so far, Rich, to say this is a great par 3. Doesn't matter where it was played. The stream that sort of comes all the way down there and surrounds the left side of the screen makes this hole really daunting. Logic would say if you're going to miss the screen, obviously you'd miss it to the right, but it's just a beautiful hole. And then you put the fact that the canyon frames the whole hole itself. It's beautiful.
Getting set now over the putt. Well, Frank, it's our job to get excited.
You can't when you leave it short, though.
I'm sad.
He's making my job hard.
Looks like par may not be good enough to get the job done here.
Yeah, big change in the top of the leaderboard. Get another birdie, so it pushes him back to second. That is burning through the atmosphere. Look at that thing. It's got a tail on it.
Yeah, that's like a rocket ship. That one was launched by NASA. This is when the game is fun, Frank, when you get one high in the air and you have a down breeze and you just watch it. Stays in the air forever.
Yeah, the hang time on that.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Starting to make a nice move. 5 under with that birdie for the tournament. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
look at this. Look at all the power in that coil. Up for the big boys now, Frank.
Well, we saw that previous tee shot go 310. This one's further.
Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie.
Really. This is that awkward length. Had to be a misread.
He has this attempt for par. So hanging in down the stretch with a par. Frank, another really rugged hole. This is the par 3 11th here at Wolf Creek.
Rich, remember that book, Dead Solid Perfect? This is what this hole's all about, because you must hit that tee shot solid. You've got to carry all the trouble in front of you. And remind yourself, too, there's enough green grass down there. Not necessarily green, but green grass around there. A good shot safely on the putting surface here. And this green's not too severe. But this is a fun par 3 just to look at.
And who knows? It is a 4-round tournament, setting himself up for a good weekend, maybe a great one. The young star makes his birdie. Frank, the par 5 12th is another case of a hole where you see that Wolf Creek Golf Club can actually be kind of scary, daunting. When you look out at the desert mountains, and then you add in some water, which we have here on the left, and you can go for some big numbers here if you're not careful.
Well, this is where the Wolf and the Creek can take a bite out of you. You hit it left off the tee, then you're certainly going to start to rack up a number. There's enough fairway down the right, but once again, if you hit a good drive and this hole is reachable for you, then you've got to worry about the water, which is to the right of this green. 5 wouldn't be the worst score you could make around here, that's for sure. I've seen 6s and 7s.
Frank, not close, but from that line, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich.
18 feet from the bottom of the cup. So early on the backside here at the 12th hole, missed opportunity. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. So with that make, now at 7 under par. Now to the 13th hole, and, oh, I don't know, should we just fly it over the mountains, Frank?
It looks like that, but then you better find dry land. 350 yards, but as the crow flies, it's probably just a little over 300 yards. I don't know if the mere mortals would really want to flash it across that desert ridge. You probably want to play a little left of it, have a little pitch up the hill, but if you're one of the longer hitters, why not just try it, see if you can make it.
Green in regulation. Continues to amaze, yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. 14th hole here at Wolf Creek, time to pull out the driver and as well the phone, because you want to take some pictures here. What a spectacular view.
Stunning. You can see a whole panoramic sort of 360 degrees right around this golf course. Then when you flick back and actually look at the 14th hole, there's 6 bunkers, 3 really in play with the tee shot, as you can see, the other 3 just up by the green. Anything to the right of those is preferred, unless you want to be playing your second shot out of the canyon or the bunkers. Green should be fairly receptive, and 3 distinct portions, which is sort of a common trait here at Wolf Creek. That's sort of 3 different tier levels in that. But let's see, birdies are to be made at Wolf Creek, maybe even one here. It's at sneaky distance.
Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Now to the short par 3 15th hole here at Wolf Creek. What is this, Frank? Just a wedge or a 9-iron?
That's all, Rich, but it's very tempting to get greedy here. And, well, you pay the price, obviously, if you miss the green on the left down on those bunkers because they're a good 6-7 feet below the level of the green. But with a wedge or a 9-iron, he doesn't go aiming at the flag.
Shouldn't be a problem here. Putting up some impressive numbers out here now. 9 under for the tournament. From a short par 3 to a short par 4. Just 393 yards here at the 16th.
Oh, he's winding this one up. Doesn't have the power, though.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. Well, in the sand, but it has been raked nicely, looking for something positive. Great shot coming out of that bunker right there.
Showing some skills today.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Now -10 for the round. Frank, you licking your chops here at the par 5 17th hole?
Oh, why not? A chance to reach a par 5 and 2, but there's still pitfalls in front of you. A little creek or stream runs across the fairway, so really limiting the distance you can hit that tee shot, but it's still reachable from just short of that creek. Find trouble off the tee, then obviously you turn it into a 3-shotter, but a good tee shot, and it's too tempting to resist not going for this green.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Just 5 feet left. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. '18th hole, and Frank, again, a good scoring opportunity. Short par 4.
Yeah, if you looked at the scorecard, you think you could drive this green, but one quick look at the trouble in front and to the right of the screen, and you realize that's probably not the prudent play. Really, something 230, 240 yards off the tee in that vicinity is going to leave you just a flick wedge into this green. It is a rather narrow green, but from that distance, you'd expect to hit it close.
Oh, dude, that's an eagle.
Rich, in that great opportunity, name on top of the leaderboard. It is only round 1.
Good place to be. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live second-round coverage of the Tiburon Championship.
Just smokes it.
Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be. This could be a huge momentum swing here, Frank.
Yeah, one more good swing, and he's going to have an eagle putt coming up. I know you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but it is well on the cards.
Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today.
A great effort, a little too strong. It didn't take the break.
He's got a birdie chance now coming back. Putting on a show, this tournament moves to 15 under par. Frank, there's so many impressive holes here at Wolf Creek, but the second really stands out.
Yeah, that tee box, is it 9 stories high? It's hard to imagine you can tee up that high, and obviously trying to judge distance is one thing, but also just the visual that you get.
Gave that the full treatment. Get up.
This is not heading in the right direction.
It looks like it's going to be in the rough. Drivable par 4, not for most in this field, but for this guy, yes, he has just knocked it on. What a shot. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday, trying for another one today. Has it for another birdie. 2 holes, 2 birdies. Frank, 227 yards from the back tee here at the par 3 third. This is all you want.
Well, that's for sure. Plays a little longer than that, too, by virtue of playing uphill. Thin air might negate some of that. There's going to be a good shot just to keep the ball on the green. One of the smaller greens here.
And into the thicker stuff.
Let's see if he can bludgeon this one out. Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Workmanlike hole. He walks away with a par. Back to the tee here at Wolf Creek. A lot of sand along the right side of this fairway leading up to the green, Frank.
Yeah, I can't even count how many bunkers they got down that right side. It's easy to see where not to go. So obviously you want to get that ball up on that left side. And then really it's just a short pitch across. Yeah, this hole's only 383 yards. It won't even really play its distance. But, of course, you've got to be careful. It's not long, but fairway first once again here. You can see all the problems around there if you do miss this fairway.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
So the dominant performance continues.
Well, we're watching 2 tournaments right now, the one at the top and the rest.
Now to the par 5 fifth hole. Cut it over the ridge here, Frank?
Well, if you can, if you dare. And there is actually a stream here. I know we're in the middle of a desert, but if you can clear that stream, that's the main thing. This is a crazy-looking tee shot because it looks like you want to go down that left, down that canyon area, but if you don't know the exact distance you fly the ball, then you're going to be in lots and lots of problems. Those collection of 3 bunkers down the right side, as long as you can avoid that, then that second shot to this par 5, that's not overly long, it's just under 500 yards, is certainly reachable. And the second shot will play uphill to a elevated green with, once again, 3 different levels.
That was a solid strike and a good result. Different day, different hole. Made bogey yesterday. He'll do better this time, it looks like. Good putt. Here at the 6th, 447-yard par 4. Pretty good hole, Frank.
Yeah, probably a layup hole, too, for the longer hitters. Something out there around the 280, 290-yard mark to make sure you don't go it in the stream. Obviously, it's a dogleg ride, as you can see. The canyon on both sides is sort of well-defined, so you know where not to go. Second shot plays a little bit back up the hill to a green. Once again, that's anything other than flat. It's fun. You've got to make sure you get that ball on the right tier if you want to have a birdie putt here.
On the green, on the chance for birdie. It's a very makeable putt here. He is currently 5 under for his round. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. And he makes it for par. Now on to the par 4 7th hole. Is this a reachable par 4, Frank?
Distance-wise, you would think so, but the designer has done something to avoid that, and that's put all this water in front of the green. It would take a mammoth tee shot, and something like 300 yards through the air if you're going to try and even drive this green. Is the risk worth it? Well, if you're just playing with your friends, maybe it is. Otherwise, you just lay it up, just past those those bunkers on the right and the left. Get it down there on the flat. A little pitch you would think is simple, but because of the slope of this fairway, chances are you might not get a flat lie, and it's going to make that second shot that much harder.
That's the idea. Just knock it in. Frank, a very short par 4 here at the 7th, but not one you're going to try to hit off the tee.
No, unless you can fly the ball sort of 300 yards on the nose and stop it within sort of 5 or 6 yards, it's really too risky. This green is not very deep, just sort of 10 or 15 yards in depth. It's just a layup hole, but layup hole just it simply doesn't mean grab a club and hit it down the fairway. The best way to play it is to try and hit the ball right on the number. And what I mean by number, I mean the full shot yardage for your second shot, even if that only is a sand iron.
Man,
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Shouldn't be a problem here. Par here's fine, isn't it, Frank? Stepping up to the shot here at the 9th, it's a par 4, 390 yards.
It is anything other than straight off the tee because of all these sort of undulations and curvature on the fairway. You'd think well bunkered, but the last bunker on the right side there, longer hitters, they can nearly fly that just over 300 yards. Either that, shorter hitter just play to that fat area of the green. That'll be sort of some, 270 yards. That will take all the water out of play into a green that slopes back at you. So very good chance, even with a wedge in hand, to get the ball close. A good way to finish the front 9. This looks like it's going to find the target.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Birdie putt coming up. A par on this hole yesterday. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side. But, Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Frank, did you hear the sound of that coming off the club face?
It was like a cannon.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. So going well up the hill to that green, will need to take an extra club here. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
This for another birdie on this hole on the week. Comfortably inside the cut line, the young prodigy makes another birdie. Frank, another really rugged hole. This is the par 3 11th here at Wolf Creek.
Rich, remember that book, Dead Solid Perfect? This is what this hole's all about, because you must hit that tee shot solid. You've got to carry all the trouble in front of you. And remind yourself, too, there's enough green grass down there. Not necessarily green, but green grass around there. A good shot safely on the putting surface here. And this green's not too severe. But this is a fun par 3 just to look at, or even at least experience.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Almost. Wow.
Just when you think you're going to make birdie. Now, have to really concentrate on this and at least make par.
Nothing wrong with that par putt. Now to the par 5 12th. Pretty big hole with a really big green.
And a really good blue area to the left, called water there. That's to be avoided off this tee, that's for sure. A good drive that avoids all of that. And then the hole is certainly reachable, but as you can see, water creeps in again back right on this hole. So just don't get too cavalier here. A 5 wouldn't be the worst score. I know you want better, but believe me, seen many as 6s and 7s racked up here at 12.
Crucial eagle attempt on the way. Now the third shot at the par 5. Just drip that in.
It's 4 1/4 inches, and he's it all.
th hole, and Frank, Wolf Creek is really kind of a macho golf course because you can stand on a tee like this and say, you know what, I'm going to take this one over the mountains.
And then, if you do, then you flip the coin. Is it in play or is it out of play? This is one hole. You just you realize you're in the middle of the desert, that's for sure. And one hole that you think, if I play this hole a couple of times, I might just get the hang of it.
Frank, that's not one you're necessarily thinking about making.
No, just good putt though. There's no two ways about that. He's putting well.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Now to the 14th hole, and Frank, this is probably the best par 4 here at Wolf Creek.
Well, it's certainly the hole that they take the most photographs on, Rich, and you can see why. Great vantage point of the whole golf course. Hole's just sort of littered with bunkers down the left side, so you know where not to go once again. Go to the right side of that. Hole just keeps sort of hooking around that left side. It plays under 450 yards. It's fun. Just sort of draw it a little off the tee, draw it a little into the green, and you'll be fine.
This is a good-looking shot. Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. Birdie here yesterday. This putt again for birdie. Come on. Don't do that.
Cruel lip out.
Could use this one. This is for par. Did the job right there. Now to the short par 3 15th hole.